James Gunn teases fans that he is already working on his next directorial DC Universe project that is connected with Superman. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn has a huge responsibility on his shoulders. The co-CEO of DCU Studios has the task of rejuvenating DC's universe of live-action adaptations, a decision that was imperative after the lackluster performance of the DCU. To his advantage, Gunn has a lot of experience. The Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 director knows a thing or two about turning around movies that are going sideways. He did a fantastic job with the Suicide Squad. Many back him to change the fortune of an entire universe. James Gunn's run at the helm of DCU might have already begun with Creature Commandos, but the real litmus test of the DCU's success will be Superman. The David Correswet starrer has a lot riding on it. For starters, Gunn isn't holding back. Superman is arguably one of DC Comics' most loved characters. Kicking things off with the Son of Krypton story was the best bet. Add to that the fact that James Gunn is himself taking the reins of the flick in his own hands. His record as a director is no mean feat really. And the Superman director wants to take no chances. The tone of the movie will set the tone for the franchise's future. In a DC press conference, Gunn revealed that he had already started working on what would be his next venture in the franchise. And he has dropped a major hint for what it could be. He said, "The DCU's confirmed roster includes a slew of movies and series, ranging from the brave and the bold to Lanterns. And new projects are being added to the roster every day. With James Gunn and Peter Safran in charge of the entire universe, it doesn't come as a shock that the 58-year-old won't be able to take a hands-on approach with each project. But that won't keep him on the sidelines for long. With the Rachel Brosnahan starrer receiving mixed reviews from the screenings, the fate of the franchise really hangs in the balance. But Gunn has already made a plan for the way ahead. And he has begun focusing on his next project. Pinpointing what he's working on is a fool's errand at the moment. All we know for sure is that the project is one within the DCU. And the entire team has their eyes glued to what pans out on July 11, 2025, when Superman will hit theaters. I'm writing and directing something else that would be the next directing thing. It's connected with Superman." The statement has sent fans into a spin, wondering what it could really be. With Gunn confirming that it's not a Superman sequel, fans have been left without an answer. The 2025 flick focuses on a host of characters, including Green Lantern and Hawkgirl amongst others. DC co-CEO James Gunn responds to a fan noting that he encourages actors to read comic books to understand characters. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. James Gunn, widely known for his work in the superhero genre with MCU's Guardians of the Galaxy franchise, took over the reins at DC Studios along with Peter Safran. Under DC Studios, Gunn and Safran will co-produce and executive produce every film and TV series that will fall under DC Universe, which is going to be a soft reboot of the DCU. Apart from acting as the co-CEO of DC Studios, the ace filmmaker will continue to write and direct projects under DCU. Superman Legacy, starring David Corenswet as Superman, is going to be the first project under DCU. Having closely worked with Marvel Studios, James Gunn is making sure that he is doing one significant thing different from Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige. Filmmaker and co-CEO of DC Studios, James Gunn is very active on social media and usually replies to the fans that are curious about his process or approach to their favorite characters. One such incident was when a user asked James Gunn on Threads, "Whenever you have somebody come on board to the DCU, do you ever tell them to read comics on the hero they'll be working with to get them to speed, or is that not a requirement?" To which the director replied, "So far, I have." The user had asked Gunn the question after he wrote on Threads that the characters in the DC comics are all myths and he enjoys bringing variations to them. He added that especially when artists understand the core of the characters is what, according to him, makes the character on screen great. James Gunn added that if the actors can understand the history of their respective characters and manage to offer their spin on it, the character looks more interesting. "I love Marvel, but Feige told some MCU talent not to read the comics. One thing Gunn is doing better in my book, https://t.co/8crl6ryc. Daniel Richtman, at Daniel RPK, February 19, 2024. Industry Insider, Daniel Richtman appreciated the effort from James Gunn while pointing out that this is one significant thing that Gunn is doing differently from Kevin Feige. He wrote, "I love Marvel, but Feige told some MCU talent not to read the comics. One thing Gunn is doing better in my book." Fans have also appreciated Gunn's attempt to encourage his actors to read about their characters. The comments stem from how Secret Invasion director Ali Salim in his interview with Screen Rant shared that he was told not to read the comics. He added, "When I took on this job as director, I didn't write the script. So a lot of that decision was made by Kyle Bradstreet and the other team of writers that we had. The first thing I was told is doesn't read the comics. It had nothing to do with what we're trying to do here." Ali Salim added that the story was born out of the electricity created between Samuel L. Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn, so they found a story that would serve that relationship and would expand the MCU and other characters. "I was a little bitter about losing a role, and I was kind of very sad. In USA, you can talk about Joe Biden, you can talk about Donald Trump, but you cannot criticize a foreign government, which is kind of like very sad, you know. And then because of that, I was cast in the movie Superman, Legacy, and then they told me, we changed the script after this Piers Morgan interview, and I want to assume good faith." The comedian was in talks to play Rumaan Harjavti, but according to IGN, the comedian was never offered the role to begin with, and the issue does come down to script changes. James Gunn took to his social media to clarify that his character was cut before he made comments on Israel. In reports by Arab News, Gunn had clarified that he spoke to Bassem and they're good after he explained the whole story. The show is set to set up some of the significant storylines in the near future of the franchise and is meant to rival Marvel's newest near-perfect animated show, X-Men '97. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more video. For some time, there was no update on the show, but in a recent fan interaction on social media, Gunn confirmed the show's release would indeed be in 2024. When James Gunn was appointed to the position of co-CEO of DC Studios, fans had high hopes for him because of his ability to make a successful superhero franchise and his work in Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Later, he announced a series of projects that got the entire fandom excited. One of the projects that has got the excitement of the DC fans is its animated series titled Creature Commandos. Creature Commandos will arrive in 2024, confirms James Gunn. With everyone putting their nose to the grindstone, they are leaving no stone unturned for criticism by the fans as well as the critics. Recently, a fan asked James Gunn via Home of DCU if Creature Commandos is still coming out this year, and the co-CEO answered, "Yep." It remains a mystery if the show will take place during World War II or the present time. Nevertheless, the project is slowly gaining momentum as it has a star-studded voice cast featuring Sean Gunn, David Harbour, Maria Bakalova, Anya Kalatra, Viola Davis, and many more voicing the characters. The show is set to set up some of the significant storylines in the near future of the franchise and is meant to rival Marvel's newest near-perfect animated show, X-Men '97. For some time, there was no update on the show, but in a recent fan interaction on social media, Gunn confirmed the show's release would indeed be in 2024. In a previous conversation with fans on Threads in April 2024, a user asked the co-CEO of DC Studios if there was any update on the show, and, the animation side, Gunn replied, "Animatics and all recording done. Waiting on the first animated cuts." Moreover, knowing Gunn, the action would be an 11 out of 10, and everything needs to be perfect because it is meant to rival MCU's X-Men '97, which has proved itself to be an instant success. With a flawless narrative in the 10 episodes of the show, MCU's animated show remained true to the source material and impressed the fans who had grown up watching the original show. This got the fandom excited, and Home of DCU, at Homiofku, added on X, that Gunn might talk more about the show at the